Okay, let's keep going. All right, I think we stopped. We kind of lost it. Okay, so the rest of it, at this point, I got the anus freed. So now you just start grabbing stuff and yanking it out of here, pulling it out of here. And if you have to use a knife blade, you do. Again, you just be careful. You're just pulling this stuff out of here. So, okay. Now here's the liver. Here's the liver up here. It's on the bottom side of the diaphragm. It's on the bottom side of the diaphragm here. I need a knife. Cut this free. Just gotta watch everything. Got some meat there I don't want to lose. Okay. Stomach's here. Stomach's here. More of the liver. Just need to pull that out. I'll have to cut that. Pull that out now. I got in the diaphragm. I got my load in the diaphragm. Look at all that blood. That's from the insides. Okay. Now, I cut the diaphragm, but the diaphragm separates the guts, like the stomach and all that, the lower, from the upper. And this is all just fat here that we're looking at. That's just about, oh, there's a kidney. There's a kidney. So, you just pull out the parts. Pull out everything you can. Take all that stuff, because it's going to go away anyway. Okay, we got a bunch of blood here. Okay, and I already got it. And I'm going to get messy here, but I cut through the diaphragm here, which separates the lower stuff from the upper stuff. And you got to reach up in there, and you start reaching up in there, and there's a piece of lung. I must have hit the lungs. This deer went down immediately. I shot it through the neck, which is normally not what I do. I certainly wouldn't do that with a crossbow. You don't make any risky shots with a crossbow, but with a rifle. And I had my 6.5 Creedmoor, and I had, furthermore, I had custom load Berger bullets that I hand loaded. They're very accurate. And I had just gone to the range, and I had a pretty strong degree of confidence that it was going to hit where it's going to hit. Okay, so here we're going to look at this. Okay, but on a buck it's going to be bigger. Okay, we got lung, and right in the middle of there we have a heart. And normally I would save the heart, but we've got a heart in the fridge, in the freezer. It's never been eaten, that Samuel wants to eat, and I'm like, well, I'm probably not going to save another heart. So, I'm not going to save another heart. But I am going to reach up in here and make sure I got everything. Oh, something I did. You noticed I went up in here with my knife because the windpipe is in there. And the windpipe, oh, it's somewhere in here in this mess. Oh, right here it is. The windpipe, you can barely see it, but it's right here. Is the windpipe, and that windpipe goes all the way up in there into the neck. And so that's the one thing you have to cut to sever to get the heart and lungs out. Otherwise, we are good to go here. Just got a lot of blood, and here's what we do to get rid of the blood. And I got a knife blade here that's real bloody, which in my bag somewhere, probably buried. Oh no, not too buried. See if I can get some blood off my hands here. I got a rag. It's always good to have rags. So got rags. Hope this video came out pretty good. Anyway, I'm just gonna clean up my knives just a little bit so I don't take home a bunch of messy stuff. You got to clean this stuff up eventually anyway, but sometimes you use these knives, you use them as part of the butchering process too, or certainly the skinning process. So yeah, use them. Yeah, I probably should use gloves. There's actually even a pair of gloves in here, but you know, some people use gloves. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It's probably not a bad thing because your hands are probably the dirtiest thing on you. Okay, I'm gonna move it out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna show you last thing, and I'm gonna move the dough up out of the way. I got a bunch of bunch of fur on this meat. By the way, you can use a propane torch to singe this hair to get it off, because you don't want hair in your meat. There's actually a butcher in Hutchinson that, if you want your deer processed, they want it skinned out and no hair. And I'm like, that's so much of the work. So anyway, what you do to get the blood out, you notice, I don't know if you notice, but I kind of have this deer uphill. I pulled it to this uphill. There's a hill here, and I did that on purpose because I want the guts to flow downhill. And she's loosey-goosey still. She'll eventually get rigor mortis and get stiff, but I'm not going to let her do that because I'm hoping to have her skinned out by then. I'm going to move her uphill a little bit because I need this upper blood in this upper chest cavity. I'd like to drain it out because otherwise it's going to end up in my vehicle and it just is messy, and it's going to end up at home. And so you just set them up kind of on edge, and that's it. And I have ramps in my truck, and I'll drag it up on the ramps. And anyway, that's all she wrote. And hope you enjoyed the video, Lauren. There she is. There's the gut pile. Coyotes will find that tonight, and there won't be anything left. So, coyote food. Anyway, I'll send you both videos.